A single dad was forced to marry a paralyzed woman until one kiss made her walk again for love. I was washing my son's breakfast bowl when the phone rang, one long vibration that felt more like a warning than a call. I wiped my hands on my jeans, still half asleep, and answered. "Bring your son to the mansion today," the voice said. No greeting, no name, just an order. I recognized the tone before the words sank in. Her father, the man who had controlled every part of my life since the accident that made me a single dad. I didn't reply. Silence was the only weapon I had left. Then he added something strange, something cold. "She is ready." I didn't ask who. I knew exactly who he meant. Alina, the paralyzed woman they wanted me to marry. The woman I had never touched, the woman I had never chosen, the woman whose eyes haunted me the one time I met her, the same eyes that held a question I couldn't name. I ended the call, slowly, deliberately. My son walked in rubbing his eyes. "Daddy, where are we going?" I swallowed the truth. "To finish something," I said. I didn't know then that this day would tear apart every lie I believed. I didn't know it would trap me inside a marriage built on secret, or that one kiss would shatter everything I thought I understood about pain, loyalty, and love. The mansion door opened before I knocked. Her father stood tall, emotionless, as if carved from ice. "You'll marry her tonight," he said. I almost laughed, as if my life had ever been mine since the debt, the accident, the debts, my son needing treatment, the way he stepped in like a savior and then caged us with the contract. "You said the marriage was only if," I started. He cut me off. "She chose you." That stunned me. Alina chose me? Why? She had 1,000 reasons to turn away. She was wealthy, beautiful, trapped in a wheelchair, yet still more powerful than I'd ever be. Then I saw her, sitting by the window, back straight, hands folded in her lap, eyes steady, soft, unreadable. Paralyzed from the waist down, they said, cold, silent, unreachable. But when her gaze lifted to mine, I saw something else. Recognition, as if she knew me far deeper than she should. Her lips parted slightly. "You don't want this," I whispered. She didn't blink. "I know." Her voice was gentle, like a confession wrapped in resignation. "Then why?" I asked. A pause, a long one. "Because you're the only man who looks at me without pity." The words hit something buried inside me, something I didn't want awakened. But I pushed it away. "This isn't a choice," I said quietly. "I know," she repeated, but this time her eyes softened just enough to hint that she wasn't talking about herself. Her father stood behind her, watching everything. That's when it struck me. She wasn't forcing me. She was being forced too. And the marriage wasn't the betrayal. The real betrayal was hidden, deep, silent, waiting. We were married that night. No celebration, no vows that meant anything. Only a contract, a pen, and the echo of chains neither of us wore but both of us felt. She wheeled beside me in silence as the mansion doors shut behind us. For weeks we lived like strangers sharing a cage. I cooked, she read. I took my son to school. She stared out windows like she was waiting for something or someone. But small details began to scratch my mind. A trembling hand she tried to hide. Footsteps I heard at night that weren't mine. Her father's constant visits. Her phone that she never touched. And her eyes, always filled with a pain too familiar. One night after I put my son to sleep, I heard her crying. Quiet, controlled, almost soundless. I didn't knock, but I stood outside her door, listening. Letting her belief that no one cared sharpen into guilt inside me. Why did I care? Because pain recognizes pain. Because we were both prisoners wearing different chains. I started looking deeper. Her medical reports, her old messages, the pills she never took, the therapist sessions she skipped. Then something unimaginable, a deleted video, recovered from her old phone. She wasn't paralyzed. She had walked, danced, spun around her room with joy. Until one night, her father's voice, a scream, a thud, then darkness. My blood froze. She didn't choose the wheelchair. It was chosen for her. Every piece of the puzzle snapped together. Her father wasn't saving her. He was controlling her, just like he controlled me. But why force her to marry me? Why bind us both? I searched deeper. Papers hidden in his study, contracts sealed under fake names. And then I found the truth. She owned everything, not him. If she married, the estate passed to her husband, me. And he planned to control me afterward through debt and threats. I closed the drawer quietly. My rage didn't explode. It calcified, cold, precise, strategic. For the first time I understood. I wasn't looking for escape now. I was planning a war. I entered her room without knocking. She flinched just once, then hid it. "Why didn't you tell me?" I said. She didn't ask what I meant. Her eyes already knew. "It wouldn't have changed anything," she whispered. "Your father hurt you." A shadow crossed her face. "I fell," she said. "A lie so brittle it crumbled in the air." I saw the video. Her breath caught. A single tear slipped down her cheek, silent and unwilling. No one was supposed to see that. I stepped closer, lowering my voice. "He broke you to control you." Her eyes glistened. She didn't deny it. "You should hate me," she said, voice breaking for the first time, "for dragging you into this." "I don't hate you," I said. Her gaze lifted sharply, as if those 4 words shattered a wall she relied on. But I wasn't finished. "I started investigating him," I said. "I know why he married us." Her lips trembled. "You know everything?" "Yes. The contract, the fortune, the plan to enslave both of us." She covered her mouth, shaking. "And then I saw it, the truth she carried alone, like a wound she didn't want touched." "I stayed in the chair," she whispered, "because if he believed I could walk, he would have done worse." I sat beside her, slowly, making sure she didn't feel trapped. "Alina," I said, "you're not broken." Her eyes widened, not from fear, from recognition of what I had become. Not her enemy, not her captor, her ally. Her voice trembled as she said, "What are we going to do?" I leaned closer, lowering my tone to a whisper. "First, you're going to stand." Her breath froze. Not because she couldn't, but because no one had believed in her strength for a very long time. She hesitated. Fear, trauma, conditioning. I extended my hand, slowly, gently. "I'll catch you," I said. A long silence filled the room. Her fingers trembled as they touched mine. And then, she pushed. Not hard, not gracefully, but enough. Her legs shook violently as she forced them beneath her. Her breath shattered in short gasps, but she stood. For the first time since the night he broke her. She collapsed forward, but into me, against me, holding on like her life depended on it. Her forehead rested on my chest, her voice barely a breath. "No one has ever helped me stand." "I know." When she lifted her face, something in her eyes had changed, fear melting into something fragile, warm, dangerous. She whispered, "Why are you helping me?" "Because he doesn't get to control us anymore." A soft, trembling exhale left her lips. She looked at my mouth, quickly, unintentionally, but enough for me to feel it. I didn't move first, she did. Her hand touched my cheek, tentative, asking a question her words never dared shape. I answered by closing the distance, slowly, letting her stop me if she wanted. She didn't. Her lips met mine, warm, desperate, starved for something human after years of silence. And in that moment, something broke inside her. Not pain, not fear, chains. She straightened, slowly, shakily, and took one full step forward. Her breath burst out in shock and disbelief. I walked. You did, I whispered, steadying her as tears filled her eyes. Not magical, not miraculous, just human. Strength returning where fear once lived. But we weren't done. Her father still believed she was paralyzed, and that ignorance was the weapon we needed. We planned quietly. She pretended to stay in the chair. I pretended to stay weak. Together we watched him tighten the leash he thought we couldn't see. But the next evening, when he walked into her room unannounced, everything changed. He froze. Because she was standing, not with fear, not with hesitation, but with calm, terrifying certainty. His mouth opened, closed, opened again. "Sit down," she said, not loudly, but with a command he wasn't prepared for. He didn't move, so I stepped forward, placing the contract he forged on the table. "I know everything," I said. He turned pale. "We're done," Alina added. "You think you can?" She cut him off. "No, I know I can." His threats dissolved into air. His power evaporated the moment she stood on her own. For the first time, she wasn't his broken daughter. She was the woman he feared. He left the mansion that night. No shouting, no fight, just silence. The sound of a kingdom collapsing. Later, when my son slept and the house grew quiet again, she came to me, walking slowly but steadily. "I'm free," she whispered. "So am I." She leaned into me, not out of need, but choice. Her fingers intertwined with mine. "You helped me." "No," I said gently. "You just needed someone who didn't walk away." Her eyes glowed with something warm, something dangerous, something new. "What happens now?" she asked. I smiled, a slow, certain smile. "Now," I said, "we learn how to live without fear." She exhaled softly, leaning into my chest. For the first time, the darkness in my life didn't feel like a prison. It felt like the place where we found each other.
How could you do this?